All righty, all righty, all righty. Got a late night live stream for y'all. Can't sleep, so I'm gonna come on here and ramble that. Y'all see the title? I can't stand people who brag about their life to put others down. And it seems that's a disease going on in the world via social media. You know, we got people that brag in their life. I can't stand a bragger. I always couldn't stand a bragger. Never did like braggers. People that brag about their life, they brag about their financial situation. You got people brag about their body counts. You got people brag about their car. They do that just to put people down. And that's a disease in the world. That's why I deactivated my Facebook account. And I think y'all should do the same. Because all that is a psyop to attack your mental health. Salute. Salute, lost the truth. Salute, brother Obadiah Israel. But anyway, yeah, that's a psyop to attack people's mental health, man. When you start to see life for what it is and start to question things in your reality, you start to, and people gonna look at you odd and strange and weird, but you gotta expect that because they NPCs. They slaves to this prison called life, man. You know. And anyway, yeah, you got people that brag about all this materialistic, superficial nonsense, you know, just to put people down. Maybe that person don't want to do that or try to attempt that, but you got people that, nah, man, look at me. They are energy vampires. They want to feed off of your validation. They ain't no different from a energy vampire. They feed off of your validation. We should call them validation vampires. You got all type of vampires. You got the vampires that live off of blood. You got the vampires that live off of sexual energy. You got the vampires. You got psychic vampires, energy vampires. We need to come up with a new one, validation vampires. And that's all I see on social media is validation vampires. It don't matter if you're on Facebook, Instagram, mainly those two social media platforms. You got a lot of validation vampires that's seeking your validation and like they want to rub it in their face. They want to show you, oh, and ain't nothing wrong, posting stuff what you want to post on social media, but you got people showing off their families, their vacation pictures, just to put others down, you know. And to be honest, most people don't care because they going through their own issues in life, and they going through their trials and tribulations and stuff. And they don't got time to be looking at you bragging about certain things. They got their own, they battle. You got people out there battling cancer. You got people out there, man, going through mental issues. You got people suffering. You got children being abused out there. But you got these buffoons want to show off their life and be like, look at me. That's why I say social media got a lot of people thinking they celebrities. And the funny part about it is these celebrities wish they could have a private life. But you got these clowns on social media, flaunting everything. You got the guys showing off his hot wife, his hot girlfriend and stuff, just to make the single dudes feel bad about themselves. And it's like that for women too. You got women showing off their husband or boyfriend and family just to make the single woman feel bad and put them down, you know. But they fail to realize things is temporary in this life, man. Things is temporary, You may get the goals you want, you may get the life you want, but that shit don't last forever, because life is an asshole. It don't matter if you having a good life or a bad life. Life gonna always be an asshole, like your Jirahama. People need to realize that. Real talk. hmm But yeah, I always couldn't stand a person that brag. Every time I hear somebody brag, I just walk away. I walk away from the conversation, or I just tell her, hey, I'll catch you later. I've got time to hear all that bragging stuff. You know, And you wonder why, like in certain circles, man, that's how a lot of people get their snot box rocked, because they brag too much or they get lined up, shit, you can't, you get snaked. That's the easy way to get snaked by your so-called homeboys or homegirls or get lined up. You brag too much, they're gonna hold a powwow behind your back and trying to line you up. They go, oh man, this Negro, he bragging too much. We got something for him. Man, what he got? He got a new car? Man, they're gonna plot to take your car, they're gonna plot to take your chain, everything. Oh yeah. That's why you gotta stay to yourself. You gotta like Hassan Campbell say, check your circle before they hurt you. And these days it's better to stay to yourself. Roll solo, because you can't trust people, man. People out there to snake you, man. You gotta stay to yourself, man, because it's like after 2020, man, society just went to crap, man. People ain't people no more, man. It's like they mind been hijacked by some type of entity, some negative entities, man. Real talk. After the pandemic, it's like a lot of people minds been hijacked by entities. They not who they ain't. They not who they are no more. They call them, well, they nothing but entities being piloted in meat suits. Straight up. But yeah, man, I couldn't sleep, so I said, I'm gonna just do a live stream, come up in here and ramble for a minute or two. Yeah, but like I said, ain't nothing wrong posting your accomplishments on social media, but just don't brag about it and trying to put others down. Like when you posting every day, and you expect people to get all them likes. People doing that for validation. They validation vampire. And when they don't get enough likes or don't get the likes they expected, it does something to them. That's a narcissist. That's narcissistic behavior. That's all that is. That's narcissistic behavior, man. And that's what social media producing, a lot of narcs. A lot of narcs. And like I say, most of them people that's liking all your stuff on Facebook and Instagram, them likes are really not really likes. They not sincere, man, because most people that's liking your posts on Facebook, they wish they could have the life you have in most cases. They wish they could be on a vacation. They got a lot of people wish they could take a vacation. You got some people, they never took a vacation a day in their life. And you posted your vacation pictures, man. And you can't get mad when they don't like your picture, because they wish they could take a vacation. Real talk. So don't get mad when they don't like your picture. But yeah, people show off, man. That's what I notice a lot on social media. A lot of people just showing off. Like I said, you ain't missing nothing on Facebook. I know I ain't missing nothing on that fake BS. That was created by Mark Zuckerberg, a Khazarian devil. One of them Khazarian devils. Mark Zuckerberg. That ain't nothing but a psyop, man. Like I said, that's the worst experiment they could have did on humanity. It's like when they came out with that crap called social media, man, people don't socialize no more, man. People want to live on the internet. Social media messed the whole interaction up between humans, between men and women. When it comes to dating, man, you got to fight against the world, man. As a man, you trying to court a woman, man, or deal with a woman she gonna have a social media. You got some women out there, they ain't gonna want to talk to you if you don't have a social media. If you don't have an Instagram or Facebook, they gonna write you off. What happened to the old ways? You just get a woman number. The old ways is better, man. You get a number via the phone. Now these days they asking for your social media information. I'll be like, that's to do an investigation, on you, and you do an investigation on her too, and that's how you know how she carry herself. Humans are now mechanical animals. Yeah, they so far from nature, Isaac. Yeah, they so far from nature. It's like they live on the internet, and they say that in the movie The Matrix, they trying to turn you into a mindless battery. They trying to turn people into mindless drones, and that's what you got a lot going on. It seems like when you more self-aware and spiritual aware, you're gonna have a hard time in this life. I noticed that That's another thing I noticed. The more spiritual aware you is, and the spiritual woke you is, and you just see for life for what it is, you're gonna have a hard time dealing with people because most people, they stuck in a matrix, they NPCs, they gonna try to force you to enjoy this torture that we call life, because sometimes I think this is nothing but a torture show, you know. Like Psycho Mantis said on Metal Gear Solid, that was a deep quote from the video game Metal Gear Solid. Mike Psycho Mantis, one of the enemies you had to fight, one of the bosses, he said, as soon as we thrown in this life, we bring each other pain and misery. Man, that was a deep quote. That game has some deep quotes, man. Shout out to Hideo Kojima. He made a masterpiece of a game called Metal Gear Solid. And that is true. That is true. With Psycho Mantis, they say, the moment we thrown into this world, we bring each other pain and misery. Look what's going on in the world. You got wars going on. You got starving children. Man, ain't nobody supposed to be homeless and starving in this world. You know how much food they waste like these restaurants, these grocery stores, they throw so much food away every day. It's a crying shame. It's nobody should be going homeless or starving, you know. And you wonder why a lot of people crashing out. A lot of millennials and Gen Zs, they fed up with this bull crap, man. They fed up. You can't even enjoy life because most people working just to pay bills. And after you pay all your bills, you ain't gonna have money to enjoy yourself. Most people can't fill up the shopping cart for groceries no more. Man, I be watching some of these content creators on here, and they be showing what people going through. Like they had, say like if you buy like some eggs, ham and bread, milk and juice, all that's gonna total up to $50 probably. And I'd be like, damn, that's not even the full thing of groceries. You don't have no meat, you don't got no vegetables, no rice, no sausage, none of that. You just bought like basic stuff and it's running up to like $50 already. It's crazy. But thank you, inflation, though, inflation going up. You gotta thank inflation for that. Shucks. But yeah, things getting crazy, man. Things getting crazy. And I know it may sound doom and gloom, man. A lot of people don't want to hear that doom and gloom content, but man, that's the way the world going. People gotta wise up. You can't, like I said, you could be optimistic, but too much optimistic, man, that's a coping mechanism. That's a coping mechanism, man, because this world is a dark place, man. This world is a dark ass place. You could either cope, hope, or rope. That's the only three things that's the only three choices you have in this life. You could cope, hope, and rope. Straight up. And to be honest, most people want to rope, but they don't have the courage and they too coward to rope. So they just gonna cope. I think most people are just coping. Most people are just coping. But in reality, they want to rope. Especially a lot of men. A lot of men want to rope, man. A lot of men want to rope. Whether they single or married. We got a lot of married men. Like, you got a lot of married men that want to rope. Their wife ain't respecting them. Their children don't respect them. They make him like he a beast of burden, man. You know how many men that want to, how many men out there that's married, man, don't feel respected, and he doing the best he can to be the provider and all that, and he still get treated like dog crap. Man, that'll do something to a man's psyche. Real talk, that'll do something to a man's psyche. That'll make that man want to eat a bullet sandwich, man. Real talk. It's sad when you got a lot of married men out there telling single guys, man, I wish I was still single, man. Stay single. Like I say, it's pros and cons to everything in life, because single guys out there, they wish they could be married, have a wife, but the dating market is just so effed up right now. Society is effed up. It's like, damn, man, it's like we living in a bizarre world. I always loved Marilyn Manson music. Now, if you go back and listen to his three biggest albums, Antichrist, Superstar, Mechanical Animals in Hollywood, is prophetic of what it is now. Yeah, Marilyn Manson, he was very controversial back in the 90s, I know who you're talking about. Yep, Marilyn Manson. Yeah, he was very controversial. A lot of Christians, boy, they call him the son of the devil. they tried to if they could, they will burn him at the stake if they could back then. They probably want to burn him at the stake like in a Salem witch trials. Yep. Marilyn Manson, yep. Mechanical Animals, superstar. Yeah, that makes sense, you know, because a lot of people think they're a superstar when they brag on social media. Mechanical Animals, you know, they're addicted to technology. Antichrist, you got a lot of antichrists in the world, you know. Yep. You know, because that's what an you know, you got the antichrist, like the son of the fallen ones, and you got an antichrist, a person that don't believe in Christ, you know. But yeah, but you know, that's to each his own, you know. People got a right to believe in what they believe, you know. You know, shit. I'm at the point in my life, man, I don't care what a person believe in, man, because most people, you know, that claim to believe in a deity, they be the most fakest. You know, most people that believe in a God or goddess or whatever, that be some of the most fakest people, you know, on earth. You know, a lot of religious people, they claim they be Christians, Muslims, Israelites, you know, Buddhists. They be the ones to snake you the most. They'll snake you worse. They'll snake you quicker than the person that's in the world. Real talk. Oh yeah. So that's why I say, man, you know, yeah, you know. But anyway, yeah, man, don't brag to put people down, man. Cause you gotta realize, man, you know, what God bless you with, he could take it from you. And that's the truth. What the most high bless you with, he could take it from you just like that. Especially if he see you bragging too much and pinning people down. Oh yes, you best believe he gonna humble you. He gonna humble you. The most high gonna humble you. You know. And I know he ain't happy what he see on social media. You know, because the angels in heaven, they record everything, man. They see everything. You know. Oh, look at me. I just bought this new Beamer. You know, haha, you still driving your 2015 Beam bucket. I got me a 2025 G-Wagon. Well, good, man. Somebody do that. I'll be like, well, you paying a high car note, buffoon. Good luck paying that buffoon high car note. You know, because I watched the video yesterday. It was about, they was talking about how them influencers going for broke. That's good for them. That's good they going for broke, man. Them social media influencers. Because you know why? I've been preaching it. I'll be like, man, why y'all giving y'all hard-earned money? Like I said, ain't nothing wrong giving to your favorite content creator, you know, to help them out with a coffee or something. But when you funding a lifestyle, that's when it's a problem. And that's what I've been noticing, you know, a lot of these social media influencers, they be getting a lifestyle funded by their fans, by their followers, by their sponsors. And then they come rub it in your face and brag about what vacation. Oh, I'm going to Peru. Look at me. My traveling vlog going to Peru. I'm going to Brazil. I'm going to Dubai. Why you struggling? Why y'all struggling at y'all job and stuff? You know, and they get to live a good life, man. Or you're working, man. Hoping you're having a good work shift, man. I had to pull 2 10-hour shifts, back to back, man. Shit. I told my supervisor, I said, yeah, I take some extra hours. And that's another thing, man. If your boss offer you overtime, you better take it. How things is, man, if you could get overtime on the job, you better take that overtime. Shit, oh yeah. But it's a lot of jobs, man, they really don't offer it like that, you know, because they know if they offer you that overtime, that's gonna help you out with your bills and you're gonna have some money on the side, you know, to save, you know. But yeah, you're working for massa. Yes, indeed. Work until you die and go to your upper room. And yeah, Isaac, that is true. Because for most millennials and Gen Z, we ain't gonna be able to retire. You know, I'm considered to be a millennial. I'm an older millennial, you know, born in the 80s, you know. You know, millennials, you know, children that's born like in the mid 80s, you know, to the late 90s, you know. Yeah, 89. Oh, you a millennial too? That's what's up, bro. You a millennial too? Shout out to the millennials and Gen Z, man. But us millennials, boy, we get beat on a lot. I noticed that. We get beat on a lot by the boomers. Even Gen Z talk smack about us. But man, Gen Z, you can't talk smack about us millennials because you trying to take our stuff. When I see these young Gen Zs wearing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles t-shirts or um t-shirts, that stuff we grew up on, I be like, that's our crap. That's our crap. You know? Yeah, you a millennial too. Yeah, you a millennial too, Lost. Me, in my opinion, I don't consider in my opinion, Gen Z, like if you born in 2000, like if you born and starting at the year 2000, I consider that Gen Z. Like when you born in a new millennium, that's considered Gen Z in my opinion. Like 1983 to 1999, that's millennials in my opinion. You're a millennial, you know. Or like some of the babies that was born like in 97, they call them zillennials, meaning they in between. Like they in between millennials and Gen Z, they call them zillennials. But yeah, official Gen Z, if you born like in the year 2000 to maybe 2015 or I say about 2000 to 2015, that's Gen Z. I say like Gen Alpha start after the maybe like 2020, that's Gen Alpha in my opinion. But yeah, they always talk smack about millennials, talking about, oh, we entitled, we spot. No, we got sacrificed to Moloch, man. Our generation was sacrificed to Moloch by the boomers, man. Real talk, man. I feel like our generation was sacrificed to Moloch. And I mean, what I mean by sacrifice, not physically, it's a financial thing. Because look how millennials struggling. You know, most millennials, man, they can't get ahead. Most millennials, they not going to be homeowners. They not going to have a family. And it's going to be like that for Gen Z too. And I hate to see how it's going to be for Gen Alpha. It's going to, it's going to be hectic, man. That's even if Gen Alpha might make it to adulthood. We don't know how the world going to be. You know? We don't know how the world going to be. Well, yeah, but anyway, yeah. And in order, cause you see the boomers, yeah, I consider your mama to be Gen X. Gen X, that's the generation nobody. Now, Gen X, they was thrown to the wolves. They had to figure it out the hard way. Shout out to Gen X. Because Gen X, they the generation, they didn't take crap, man. You know, you had a problem with somebody, they solve it. They wasn't talking smack behind no computer screen. You had a problem with somebody in Gen X, man, they solve it. They solve it. They try to talk it out. They'll squabble it out and go their merry way. Yeah. But yeah, the boomers, man, they gonna tell you, oh man, if I could do it, you could do it too. But you see, a lot of boomers don't realize, man, they don't see reality, like how us millennials and Gen Z see it. And what I like about Gen Z, at least Gen Z is the generation they starting to question things. Like a lot of Gen Z, they starting to question things and they starting to be aware of what's going on in the world. So that's one thing I give Gen Z. You know, they know the world jacked up. A lot of Gen Z know the world is jacked up. You see, a lot of us, most of us, I'm gonna say most millennials, they caught on too late. But I was one of those millennials. I always knew the world was jacked up. Even when I was a child, I already knew something was wrong with this world. I always did. And I'd be like, man, us millennials, man, we living through it's like we all experienced the aftermath of Ragnarok. Yeah, it's like we already experienced Armageddon, life-wise at least. It's the apocalypse is for us, man. We already going through the apocalypse. You know. Yeah. But it is what it is, you know. You just gotta ride the tiger in the flames, man, you know, and endure. You know, hope or rope. And I'd rather cope. You know, you could cope, find things to cope. Sometimes you have your good days and your bad days. Yeah. Yeah, I think the boomers was like in the 50s, in the 60s. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's the boomers. Yeah, the boomers was born like after World War II. I say like the late 40s, early 50s to maybe the mid 60s. Yeah. Yeah, like the 1950s to 1960s. Yeah, that's the boomers. And they still around, man. And to be honest, a lot of boomers is the ones who's running the country. Like a lot of these senators and politicians that sit on the Senate, man, they old boomers, man. They don't want to give up them seats. They gonna die on them seats. They don't want to give up them seats of power. You know, a lot of these old politicians, man, some of these old boomer politicians, they coming in up in there with oxygen tanks and walkers, man. Some of millennials say they were more of Gen X, yet we were just poor and had to fight your own fight. Yeah, because I had somebody born in Gen X, they told that to me. They say, man, you say you're a millennial, man, you more of Gen X. That's what they told me. They say, man, you right there with us, man. You more of a Gen X than millennial. Yeah, I had somebody told me that before. I said, yeah, whatever, you know. But we still feeling the brunt of it, though. Shit. Yep, but man, you know, you could say we was the last generation that played outside, though, the millennials. Why the healthy ones can't get a job. And that's another thing. Speaking of jobs, nothing to do. What up, nothing to do? Yeah, speaking of jobs, the job market is a nightmare these days. Yeah, the job market is a nightmare. You know how hard it is, you know how difficult it is to get a job these days? You see, at least back in the day, you could have go walk in a business establishment, shake the hand of a supervisor or hiring manager, fill out the application and say, look, I got this amount of experience, you know, I got an education, and you'll get hired the same day. These days, man, you be overqualified. They're gonna send you that rejection email. Oh, I'm sorry. You don't meet the requirements. We're gonna move on to the next candidate. Y'all know that's AI. That's an AI message. Humanity got so coward. Society, I mean, it's like this technology making people coward. They don't want to deal with each other no more. So they're gonna send you a rejection email. They're gonna send y'all a rejection email. Yeah, nepotism. That's right. It's not what you know, it's who you know. That's one thing my daddy always told me. He said, son, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Nepotism. Yeah, that nepotism, that's a disease, man. They'd rather hire their lazy family member that don't do nothing than to hire somebody that got the requirements, they got the credentials, they have the experience, they got the education, but they will pass them up just to hire their cousin that's lazy, that's gonna sleep on the job. There's a lot of jobs in Colorado. Okay, that's what's up. Shout out to Colorado. You know, they gotta endure the Rockies, the snowy mountains, the Rockies. You know, yeah, for the most part, we basically the last of the strays, not the feral. Oh, they don't want us to become feral like the Appalachian feral people that live in the Appalachian mountains. You know, be feral, be a feral, we gonna be feral like Wolverine and Sabretooth. Oh yeah. Man, shout out to everybody that's watching. I didn't realize a lot of people would have come through, man. I say, let me do a little late night live stream. Like I said, I couldn't sleep, man. I'm tossing and turning in my sleep. Then I went to bed early too. So that's one thing. When you go to bed early, you're gonna wake up in the wee hours of the night. Yeah, when you go to bed early. It's funny how when I was a child, my parents used to have us going to bed at around 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and we'll sleep through the whole night. And we'll get up about around 4, 5 in the morning, you know, to get ready for school and all that. But yeah, I find it funny now that I'm a grown adult. If I go to bed at 8 o'clock, man, I'm getting up at midnight. I ain't gonna be able to sleep during the whole night. There's a lot of jobs in North Dakota, bro. That's what's up. Yeah, it all depends what field you get into, though. But yeah, man, I see a lot of people. But you see, a lot of people, they can't relocate. You know, a lot of people that's trying to find work, they probably can't afford to relocate. Oh yeah, there's our best. Oh yeah, I know there's jobs out there. The jobs are out there. Jobs not scarce. It's just they don't want to hire though. A lot of companies they be on a buffoonery. Congress needs term limits. I believe that. Yeah, I agree. Especially because you got some of these people on Congress. They've been there all their life. They've been sitting on them in them seats all their life. They don't want to give up that seat of power because they like that status. They like that status. I used to get up at 7, 8 in the morning as a kid. Now that's one thing I could say. I can't sleep all day. Even if I go to bed late. Say if I go to bed at 3 or 5 in the morning. I'm gonna still end up getting up like in the middle of the day. I ain't gonna like around noon, before noon. I try to not sleep past noon. I can't sleep all day like some people. You got some people, man, they don't get up till like 4, 5 and a half in the evening. Oh no, I can't do that. I can't do that. Nah, it's a lot of fat lazy people here, bro. So jobs hiring fast, or they don't want to work, or in South Dakota. That's fun. He says a lot of fat. Man, that's all over the United States, bro. That all that processed food they eating. I'll be like, man, I get pissed off, man. I see these fat motherfuckers coming to the store, man, got a shopping cart, eating all the snacks and little devs in. And us working people, we trying to fill out our ice box. We can't barely fill our damn basket. They ain't missing a meal. Three to 4 hours at most to relocate. Yeah, man, but these jobs, man, I mean, they got people come on these platforms, say they fill out like 100, 200 applications, and they still ain't getting a call. I'd be like, dang, something ain't right. And you gotta look at how you pitch your resume and stuff, because what type of words you put on your resume and application, the AI, they use AI to review the application. Oh well, yep. Because you take care of yourself. That's why you work. You're active. You're active. You're active. So, and the way it's getting, we're gonna have to stay active. We ain't gonna be able to retire, man. And I accept that. Millennials and Gen Z, we ain't gonna be able to retire like that. And even if you could retire, what if you get bored? What if you get lazy and bored? You're gonna get so depressed and whoa, you're gonna go right back to work. Because I see a lot of people do that. I've seen a lot of elderly people do that. They retire and they come back to work part-time because they got bored sitting at home, you know. And I heard stories of people retire and within a year or two, they check out. They check out, meaning they croak. They pass on, they transition. And that's sad to hear that. Yeah, we in the beginning stages turning into that movie Idiocracy. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that movie out, Idiocracy. It's on YouTube. And that's what the world is becoming. It's becoming a buffoon show. It seems like the buffoons is winning in life. If you ever notice, the more dumb a person is, it's like that's who becoming successful. And back to what I was talking about, the social media influencers going for broke. I'm glad they're going for broke because influencer, no, you just a professional attention whore. In my opinion, I don't look at them as influencers. They just professional attention whores. That's all a social media influencer is to me. They professional attention whores. They don't care if they're a man or a woman. I don't give a damn. They are attention whores. You ain't doing nothing special. You just showing off your goddamn life. And you rubbing it in people's face and bragging about it. You ain't no goddamn influencer. You got a lot of damn grifters on this platform. Talk about, oh, I'll give you a consultation. Hit me up. Call me for. I'm not paying no mother trucker $100 to $200 to talk to on the internet, about problem stuff. When they don't got no letters of learning, they don't got no degrees, no letters of learning under their name. Get the hell out of here. Man, fuck that shit, man. What I look like paying another person, just to talk to for like 30 minutes, what is $100, $200 for an hour? Man, get the hell out of here. I ain't all buy your course. You got these guys selling these courses. You want to be the best version of yourself? Man, life don't care if you be the best version of yourself. Life still gonna be an asshole to you, man. Life gonna roundhouse kick you like you're Jurahama. Man, life treat us like Baki, man. When you watch the anime Baki the Grappler, Baki represent us, and your Jurahama is life, because that's how life gonna be. Like, because when you look how your Jurahama treat his children, he an asshole. Your Jurahama. He don't give a damn about nobody but himself. Your Jurahama. But yeah, man, a lot of social media influencers, they crying because they not getting the views they ain't getting. They not, you see, that's one thing about them algorithms. you gotta be a buffoon to think you could make that a steady income being a social media influencer on YouTube, TikTok. That's not gonna last forever, because once the algorithm don't choose you no more and you ain't popular no more, the algorithm gonna throw you away. They're gonna throw you away. They're gonna go on to the next up and coming social media influencer. You know, straight up. They gonna they gonna man, you know, the algorithm, man, is brutal. The algorithm is brutal. It's very brutal. But yeah, they crying because they going abroad. And some of them actually glad to get a 9-to-5 job. So because, you know, they got tired of the burnout on social media. That's another thing. When you be a popular person on YouTube or TikTok, you will get burned out. I don't care if you got people with 1 million subscribers, 2 million, 4 million, man, they burned the hell out. They burned the hell out, man. All that social media fame got them burnt out. They burned the hell out. Yep. They burned the hell out. And so they just say, man, to heck with it. You see a lot of social media influencers, they don't know how to invest their money. They blow their money. They want to buy the expensive clothes. They want to buy the Gucci, the Prada. They want to try to finance a G-Wagon. You even got someone trying to get a Lambo. I be like, what the hell you need a Lambo for? You know, anytime you see a 20-year-old driving a Lamborghini and they call themselves an influencer, they renting that car. There ain't no way they paying on that. Either they rent that car, they influencer, or they come from a family with a lot of money. You know, they come from a family with a lot of money. Yeah. Or you've been retaining for 3 years, that's what's up. You know, that's what's up. And then you got in some of them semen retention content creators, they scams too, man. I'm gonna get on them too, man. You know, a lot of them, they some grifters too. They talking about, oh man, focus on your purpose, man. I'm gonna be real, man. A lot of them SR content creators, man, they still be smashing chicks. I ain't stupid. They still, come on now, man. They going to the gym, they getting themselves together. They telling guys, oh man, don't worry about these women. Focus on yourself. And behind the scenes, you best believe they probably got a whole rotation. That's why I say they ain't no different from Pastor Pochop, you know. They ain't like a lot of these dating coaches, you know. Like I said, it ain't no different. You see, women go to church, women deal with the pastor or the elder, you know, in the congregation, and guys deal with these content creators, these dating coaches, these you know, motivational speakers. But yeah, they human. We gotta realize they human too. They gonna have they fuck ups. They human too. Yeah, Mark the Messenger, New Breed. Yeah, that's what I say. She, you don't see him talking about that no more. She, yeah. And Ringo, he's still attacking New Breed. He going on a slander campaign, calling that man racist. I mean, he got a picture of New Breed with the demonic eyes, calling that man a racist YouTuber. Man, Ringo need him. You see, that's another thing. Ringo is another braggadocious bastard. This nigga bragged too much about his life, but he's still miserable. He's still trying to slander New Breed, calling that man a racist YouTuber. Yeah, cause it's because, you know, like, it's just a low vibration, man. You know, we in the age of Kali Yuga, like some people believe we in the end times. You see, in the age, it's like we in the worst state of human history. It's like humanity is just got thrown off the scale, and it seems like the scales is in their favor, because you really can't pin it on a woman like that, because it's the man's fault. You got these weak ass Sims that gave him too much power, because a woman can't take power from a man by force. It's up to that man to give a woman power, and the powers that be decide to give women power with the feminist movement, because the feminist movement was funded by the Rockefellers, you know. And oh yeah, he buying views too. Speaking of Ringo, you see some of his videos he did, they got like over 300,000 views. Man, that motherfucker buying views, bro. He bought some subscribers too. He recently brought subscribers. He been buying views. Come on now, how you getting over 300,000 views, but you just got like maybe 200, 300 likes and only 10 comments in the comment section? Yeah, something don't seem right. A lot of content creators be buying subs. They be buying views and yeah, come on now. Yeah, they buying views. He buying views. Ringo is buying views. He's trying to compete with New Breed. I'm telling you. They compete with each other. And that's sickness, man. That's sickness. Yeah. Yeah, now he been attacking black people, talking about, oh, FBAs, you know, dude been rocking them. Man, dude been rocking Make America Great Again. He's definitely trolling. I don't know if he's trolling or not, but them folks don't care. They gonna look at him stupid, them folks, them pale folks. They gonna look, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with this damn N-word? Shit. Yeah, man, dude need to get a life, man. He got all them damn scooters. He got the house. He got the car. And he's still miserable. You can see it in his face. The man is miserable. He's miserable. That's why he's doing content about other people. That's why he attacking New Breed. New Breed trying to go on his merry way. You know, but he going on a slander campaign, calling that man a racist YouTuber. Man, that's petty, bro. I mean, yeah, I don't think Breed worried about him. No, man, New Breed ain't scared of New Breed. New Breed already offered a fade. He don't want to accept the fade. He don't want to accept the boxing match. He don't want to catch that fade. He saw my old man, New Breed show up. I'm gonna show him brutality. I'm gonna use my Second Amendment. I'm from New York, bro. I could tell you he's trolling. Well, he's making New York look bad, man. Because he didn't want to accept that fade from New Breed. You know, he didn't want to catch that fade. Oh, yeah. Now that he moved to the South, now he trying to change. Now he trying to claim that, you know, since he moved to North Carolina and all that. But yeah, it seems like he's miserable, though. That's not gonna help his content. He desperate. If he got a troll man like that, he desperate. He desperate for content. He desperate. You know, he desperate. You know, and that's why. And then you see, that's an example why you should never collaborate with people on YouTube. If you're a new content creator, this would be my advice. Just stay in your lane. Don't collaborate with nobody. Don't join nobody panel. Just stay in your lane. Stay in your lane, man. Because look what happened between New Breed and them, man. That was a whole hot mess. That was a whole hot mess. I mean, you had Brainwaves, Rollo, Ringo. I mean, they formed a coalition against that man. That was what, last year? What, in 2023, I think. Yes, 2023 and parts of 2024. Man, them dudes started a coalition. They really plotted to try to bring that man down. And it was funny because a few years back, they all was on a panel together. You had Pastor Dowell, Mark the Messenger, New Breed, Ringo, Rollo, Brainwaves. They used to have the power circle and all that. That's why I say collaborations that's gonna always fail. That don't last long. That don't last long. Shit, that's what's up. Your channel growing, huh? You're 400 subs from 1,000. Oh yeah, man, he definitely is. There's a lot of frauds on there, but yeah, they all was on a panel together. I remember that. They all was on a panel together. Okay, ending in 2023 to 2024. Yeah, I'll never forget that. I think that was on Rollo channel. They all was on a panel. Yeah, New Breed, Rollo, Ringo, Pastor Dowell, Mark the Messenger. And now look, we in 2025, man. They all just fell out. That's crazy. That's crazy. They all fall out with each other. But like I said, that don't work, man. Stay in your lane. If you a new content creator, most successful content creators, man, they don't join no panels or nothing. Like, they don't collaborate. They just stay in their lane. They focus on their content and build their channel up. That's the best way to do. Because, you know, you collaborate with people, you get into these circles on YouTube, these cliques or whatever, and things don't go, and things go south, man. You fall out with people, man. They're going to slander you, man. You're going to slander them probably. Going to go back and forth, man. Unfortunately, people like that bullshit, man. They like seeing drama. That shit unhealthy. When you got content creators going back and forth, man, that'll stress you out, man. That'll stress you out. Straight up. But people don't care, man, because they like the drama. You know, they love that drama, man. It's crazy. Man, when Elden Ring, man, I was thinking about that game the other day. I see that's when I think about the video game Elden Ring, the Souls game. Us millennials, that's our life, man. Our life is like a Souls game, millennials. When I play the game Elden Ring, we the tarnished. Us millennials and Gen Z, we the tarnished. And the boomers and Gen X's are the bosses, especially the boomers, like the powerful enemies in Elden Ring. You know, they mostly like when, for example, you know, like the first boss. Damn, it's been a while since I played. I might forget. I might butcher his name. Dang. The Godwin the Graphic Godwin the Graphic. He definitely a boomer. He remind me of a bitter ass boomer. Godwin the Graphic, the first boss that you fight, not Mark, the first major boss that you fight, not Margit the Fair Omen, but the boss that you fight at the castle. You know, yeah. I'll be like, that's our life, bro. Most millennials and Gen X, but most millennials, man, our life is a Souls game. We the tarnished, man. We the tarnished. That's what they look at us when the previous they look at us as the tarnished. Oh yeah, yeah, for real. Yeah, the boomers, they the like you got because you know the major bosses on Elden Ring is like they like demigods. They like fallen demigods you gotta fight. And you gotta defeat certain ones to get pieces of the Elden stone, something like that. It's been a while since I played. It's been months since I played it, you know. But yeah. And we the tarnished, man. We the tarnished. You know, we the tarnished. Yeah, again, our life is like a Souls game. Shit. Yes indeed. But man, to be honest, man, you know, I gotta get in the mood to game though, bro. You know, it's like, man, you know, I be having my bad days. I don't even want to do nothing. I don't even be excited to do nothing. I just go to work, come home and chill. All I do is come home, chill, and watch story videos. I've been noticing a lot of them slave story channels been coming up with them slave stories about slaves getting revenge. I've been watching that lately. You know, like it's tell a story. You know what I'm talking. There's a lot of story channels. Some people say it's AI narrative. Well, it could be true story. I don't care, man. I like watching stuff like that, man. You know, about slaves fighting back, getting revenge on these damn wicked masters, you know. But yeah. I know that's a lot of stuff coming up. They got a lot of story channels, you know, with AI programs. Yeah, I think that's what it is too. Lost. It's like a lot of the gaming, the way gaming is today, it just is whack. You know, it pisses me off. It's all about making money. It's not about making games no more. It's about making a dollar, and that's what turns me off. You know, it's not about the fun no more. It's about making dollars off of people with all this DLC, all these different versions of a game that come out. You know, you got like the standard edition. What happened to the day you just had the standard edition and maybe a deluxe edition? Now these days you got like 3 different editions of a video game. You got the standard edition, you got the digital edition, you got the deluxe edition, you got the ultimate edition, and finally the collector's edition that you got to fork over at least a couple of $100 to get a few damn worthless trinkets. I used to get the collector's edition of video games back then. Now that I wisen up, I'm like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it because all you're paying for is worthless ass trinkets. They ain't gonna have no value at the end of the day. You know, it's all about making money. You gotta pay to play online. I don't like that shit. You gotta play. It's bad enough you pay for internet service. Why the fuck you gotta pay PlayStation just to play video games online, or with Xbox, the Game Pass? You already paying for Wi-Fi, internet service. They some pricks for that, man. Sony and Microsoft some pricks for that. You already gotta pay your Wi-Fi service to you know, play. Now you gotta pay extra. Yeah, man. And then Sony went up they coming out, they went up on a PS5 and they coming out with a new version of the PS5 Slim with less data. It ain't gonna be terabytes, it's gonna be a few gigabytes, it's gonna be like I think 900 gigabyte or something like that, man. Fuck you, Sony, man. Y'all some bitches for that, Sony. Real talk, y'all some straight up bitches, man. Y'all goddamn tofu eating ass Japanese motherfuckers that run Sony. Y'all greedy, money hungry whores. Yeah, I don't give a damn. I'm gonna call y'all out for what y'all. Y'all some money grabbing whores. Y'all gonna come out with a new PS5 Slim with less data. Y'all should have made at least 2 terabytes. And y'all better brace yourselves because when a PlayStation 6 come out, it's definitely gonna be $1,000. Real talk. It's gonna be $1,000. Telling y'all, it's gonna be $1,000, man. PS6. I hear you, bro. I might not even get it neither, cause man, you know, I look at it, man. I'm up there. I'm in my 40s, man. You know, and that's one of the things I'm starting to realize about life. You know, once you get a certain age, you know, I'm in my 40s. Things don't seem enjoyable no more, and I think that's what it is too. You know, and that I think that's part of maturing. That's part of probably maturing, man. When things don't seem enjoyable no more. Yeah, because gaming, to me, gaming don't seem enjoyable. I still play, but I notice like when I play, it got to be a game that I really want to play. But most games that I play, yeah, I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2, yes, lately. Yeah, that's what I recently got. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption. Yeah, because I like Western movies, man. I like cowboy stuff. Western movies and all that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm having a blast playing Red Dead Redemption 2, though. I like the storyline, the beginning. You know, when they on a run, they like basically outlaws. They on a run from the government and agents. It take place in 1899. You know. Oh yeah, they on a run. They like the last of the outlaws. They like the last bunch of outlaws and stuff. But yeah, but gaming, man. Gaming used to be fun, man. It used to be about the customer, the fan, not no more. It's all about, and then I heard I think BioWare was brought out by Saudi Arabia, something like that. Yeah, BioWare or EA, I think it was BioWare, they was brought out by Saudi Arabia. Man, that's not looking good for Dragon Age because, you know, in Saudi Arabia, they against certain things. They might try to get rid of Dragon Age Veilguard. I'm not gonna be mad because, you know, a lot of stuff in Dragon Age Veilguard that don't agree. Saudi Arabia, they don't agree with that. You know, like the alphabet agenda, they ain't gonna rock with that. That's crazy though, man. How y'all gonna let BioWare get brought out by Saudi Arabia? That's crazy. Yeah, they did. Yep. A lot of people still play it online, Ray. And a lot of people waiting for Grand Theft Auto 6. Man, I got a hunch we might not get Grand Theft Auto 6 till 2027. You know what's gonna be sad? I think they waiting for PS6 to come out to release Grand Theft Auto 6. That's what they gonna do. That's what they gonna end up doing. Now it's still gonna come out on PS5. Trust me, it's gonna come out on PS5, Grand Theft Auto 6. But I think they're gonna try to wait till the PS6 drop to release Grand Theft Auto 6. That's messed up. We should have been got Grand Theft Auto 6. We should have been got Grand Theft Auto 6, to be honest. And I don't like that because you see, the longer they got us waiting for a game, it's probably not gonna live up to the hype. It might live up to the hype, or it might not live up to the hype. It's either or. But yeah, it's like, man, gaming, the way these corporations running the gaming industry is whack. It's whack. And they making all this Games with the political agendas, I don't like that. I don't like that crap. You know, all this political agendas and video games. Let video games be video games. Go back to how things were, man. Like back in a PlayStation and PS2 era, when they had all that political crap in video games. Games was just having fun, you know. And it's another thing. Games was more simple back then. You know, it was more simple. You had all the gaming didn't feel like a job. None of the games they make today, it feel like you're going to another job. You know, taking you by 30 to 20, 30 minutes to an hour just to complete a quest. Then you got side quests, man. All a side quest is you doing chores for other people. You got people trying to send you on a side quest in real life. You know, oh, can you do this for me? Can you get this for me? All a side quest is you solving other people's problems that they too lazy to solve themselves. That's the whole truth about a side quest. You got people like that in life. They want you to do their quest for them instead of do it for them. Probably so. But you better believe they're gonna come out with all kind of versions. You're gonna have Grand Theft Auto 6, the Ultimate Edition, the Deluxe Edition, the Collector's Edition. That's all to make money off of people. That's all that is to make money off of people. You know, that's all that is. Oh, look, the hourglass all ain't down already. But yeah, man, even movies. It's like I don't be interested in watch TV shows no more. I'd rather watch these story channels on YouTube. I get more satisfied watching people write stories and listen to their narrators on YouTube, whether it's an AI generated story. I don't care. I rather listen to stuff like that than watch Hollywood stuff or watch old movies, you know. But yeah, all that stuff they recently coming out with, man, I don't got time to watch all these TV shows, these series. Man, 24 hours ain't a lot of time. And when the older you get, man, time go by faster. Man, once you get older, man, the days go by faster. And you don't have time to be watching all that stuff. Unless I really want to watch the certain series. But yeah, I don't even go to the movies no more. I don't go to the movies no more. What's the point of me going to movies? Things going up, man. You know, a movie, like I said, man, you see in the UK, they're releasing the market of these with the IRF chip. Man, they better not tell them. They better tell them, no, man, don't put no chip in them. Hell no. Man, I don't want to put no chip in me. You got to use a chip to pay for your items, man. Hell no. We ain't no machines. That's going to feel awkward, man. Going to put a chip in you. But that's what they trying to go to, a cashless society, though. People better wake up, man. I still use cash. Any place that still accept cash, man, I still rather pay with cash. They trying to gear us up for a cashless society. But yeah, we got 5 likes, man. Shout out to the people that like the stream, man. Y'all awesome. Shout out to the people that like the stream. You know, much appreciated. I'm about to wrap it up. I'm gonna go back to bed because I gotta go to work early in the morning. Like I said, I said something. I said, let me go up and do a little wee hours of the night live stream, man. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. But like I said, man, yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're gonna be fighting robots. They talking about black and white. It's gonna be black and white versus the synthetic man, the cyber man. You know, the mechanical man, the tin man. It's gonna be black and white versus the 10 people, the 10 man. You know, they talking about blacks and whites can't get along. Y'all better, man. It's gonna be the next thing you know, they're gonna be discriminating against AI and synthetic. We're gonna be like, you're gonna have people preaching robot lives matter, robot lives matter. I'll be like, robot lives matter. They machines. They're a synthetic being. They don't even got a soul. How robot lives matter? They don't even got a soul. They're a machine. They don't got no soul. You know, they don't got a spirit. You know, they're machines. But tell that to the damn liberals. You're gonna have them liberals, man. They're gonna be wanting a data robot. That's why I say they're gonna soon have to add the R to the it's gonna be the LGBTQR. What the R stand for? Robosexual. It may sound crazy, but yeah, people gonna date robots. They're gonna, you know, they're gonna call them robosexuals. They're gonna be like, what's your sexual identity? They're gonna be like, I'm a robosexual. What that is? Oh, I date robots and androids. My wife is a sex bot, you know, and all that. Yeah, robosexuals. That's gonna be a thing. It may sound far-fetched, but that's gonna be a reality one day. You know, if the way the world keep going, and I be like, hey, shit, you date if a man or woman dating a robot, that damn machine or malfunction and go into overdrive. Yeah. Look at the music industry. They trying to use AI in the music industry. I mean, AI is taking over a lot of industries. You got some of these producers, man, they start using AI to make their beats. AI rappers, AI singers, you know. But all right, man, I appreciate y'all, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Y'all have a blessed day, man. Like I say, stay up, you know. Cast your burdens upon the Most High, man. Take it one day at a time. Like I say, you either could cope, hope, or rope. And I choose to cope and hope because I'm not roping. That's the coward's ways out, man. Don't rope. You got these doomers, you know, you got these doom and gloomers talking about stuff like that, man. Talking about they want to rope, man. Don't do that. Don't do it. Hope, man. Hope. Fight. Be a fight, man. Be a warrior. We built to last, man. Peace.